States.
Because of politics,
Our life would change forever.
and we never went back, and we never will. Not until he's gone. Some of my Cuban American representatives in Miami, some of them in the past, they have always been very popular, and the Cuban American dream has always been to have somebody run for president one day, or to have a president from Cuban American roots, because politics is so deeply personal to us and collectively. Everyone has a story to tell about Cuba. Everyone has a story to tell about living under the revolution, living outside of Cuba, outside of our mother country, our maternal country, in exile. Everyone has a story. My family fled from communism in Cuba in 1966, 7 years after the revolution. So we lived under a communist rule, developing and getting worse for 7 years. Everyone has a story, and every story leads to one dictator, and the decisions made by that dictator have affected every single family, everything from separation and divorce to suicide to so many things. But overall, Cubans have been extremely successful in the United States. They are capitalists more than anyone can know, ambitious, and education is important, family is important, and la patria. Country is important. So we share a lot of the values of the Republican Party, and the Republican Party has become progressive. It has abandoned all the principles that we stand for, and it has corrupted the representatives that we so loved and have so admired over time. They have been comprometido, they have been corrupted, they have been promised cabinet positions, they have been given money, they have just been used, and our plight and the cause for freedom has been used by the Bush family and the GOP to win elections and to manipulate the direction of the party. no one ever likes to confront their own, and he's just a next door neighbor. It's almost like saying a next door neighbor became a senator, and all of a sudden he's famous, and he's talked about and everything, and the excitement was building, and then little by little, as we get to know him, his views become more apparent. And so I got the chance to meet him after having done so many articles and a few YouTube clips, and I can't say that it wasn't exciting. It was, but at the same time, there was like a sucker punch. It was a feeling that he has morphed into a rhinoceros. He has morphed into a political animal. So what I'm saying is that he is very disarming. He is very friendly. He is very Cuban. He's very Cuban. He smiles, and he's a happy person. It is not important how likable a person is. You have to get past that. And it was hard for me to get past it, but I did it. And I did it because it's from my heart. It's from my core. He is doing something that is against the best interest of the only country that is free in this world, only because of political ambition, his personal political ambition, just like my other two representatives. It is a reminder. Cuba is still a dictatorship, so I'm keeping Cuban American until Fidel is gone, and because my representatives are betraying what they are supposed to stand for. That was a long introduction to a very short clip where I have a very quick exchange, and I confront Marco Rubio, and I tell him, you're supposed to be anti-communist. Why are you pushing a communist agenda? And I put it in an envelope so that it would be documented and so that the facts could not be refuted. And that is, amnesty is a communist agenda.
Standing ovation. Thank you. All right, thank you.
No, it's your book.
Step right over there.
Marco?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Good to see you.
You know who I am?
Remind me.
Okay. I promised to read your book if you promised to read this. I'm not a dreamer. I'm against the amnesty thing.
Right.
Okay?
Is that a letter?
You're supposed to be anti-communist.
Right.
The whole amnesty thing is a big government thing. And
I'll read your letter. Is your
Thank you.
return? Is your return stuff on there? How to get a hold of you?
You can see it from the article.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is from the article that I wrote. The House GOP caucus is meeting tomorrow. Labrador was cited as saying they don't have a Marco Rubio to help the House to work the bill. I predict Boehner will, as he usually does, pretend to be on our side at first, then have a bill signed similar to the one in the Senate to present to Obama. He will help make amnesty the law of the land. House Speaker John Boehner has enlisted former Republican vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan to promote the House plan. He is working with Luis Gutierrez, former Marxist-Leninist Puerto Rican Socialist Party member, and Javier Becerra, both members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus and longtime amnesty activists. The U.S. Senate's Gang of Eight immigration reform plan, as well as a strikingly similar plan now, being backed by Representative Paul Ryan and a bipartisan House gang, both offer the roadmap to citizenship originally conceived and carefully developed by members of the Communist Party USA, working with the Democratic Party and the Radical Left Activist Network for the purpose of using amnesty to illegals to build a permanent progressive majority. Today's Communist Party USA cites the current amnesty effort as its top legislative priority. Dated April 1st, 2013. The struggle for immigrant rights is a key component of the struggle for working class unity in our country today. The coming months are crucial. This is a call for progressive forces to become fully engaged at every level. More than 11 million people who came in search of work and a better life have been blocked from legalization and a path to citizenship and forced into substandard and life-threatening working and living conditions. Eliseo Medina learned voting strategies from Fred Ross, a Saul Alinsky-trained activist, and the brains behind Cesar Chavez. Then, claiming U.S. immigration policy is broken and needs to be fixed, the AFL-CIO on February 16, 2000, called for a new amnesty for millions of undocumented workers and the repeal of the 1986 law that criminalized hiring them. According to the SCIU website, Medina has played the leading role in uniting Change to Win and AFL-CIO behind the immigration reform movement. Medina in 2009 said, "We reform the immigration laws. It puts 12 million people on the path to citizenship and, eventually, voters."
Most people are against amnesty, so why is something like this being rammed through again, just like TARP and Obamacare were? Why is the will of the people being ignored? Why are senators so easily swayed, knowing that the people do not want this? It's not about the border security. It's not about all the amendments. It's about corruption that we have to root out.
That was my first day on U.S. soil, and I will never forget why it is that we came and what it is that we're supposed to fight for.